Welcome to Studio D on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. This is Sooner Sports Pad. Now, here's your host, Ashley Davis.
Welcome to Sooner Sports Pad. I'm Ashley Davis alongside my spectacular co-host. We've got Haley Hughey and Mason Prince in the house. We've also got a very intelligent and energetic live studio audience. Guys, tell us who's in there.
We have the graduate students in the audience tonight.
That's right, they're excited to be here. They're ready to go.
Yeah, we'll also hear from linebacker Striker, who led the charge this last weekend, later on in the show.
And coming up later, Mason and I debate which is better, the current linebacking core or the 1985 linebacker core.
Coming up later, we'll hear about Jordan Evans, the homegrown linebacker with family ties to the program.
Which brings us to Launchpad. It's this weekend's top news in OU sports. The Sooners knocked an impressive win over number 23 West Virginia this weekend. The game took place right here in Norman. Baker Mayfield threw for 324 yards, including this 71-yard bomb to Deron Neal, putting the Sooners up 34-24. Late in the fourth quarter, Striker sacks QB Skylar Howard, forces the ball out. It's retrieved by linebacker Jordan Evans, who makes this 41-yard dash straight into the end zone. Touchdown Sooners. OU handed West Virginia their first loss of the season. The 44-24 was the final score of the game. Well, the Sooners claimed their first conference victory this weekend and recovered 5 fumbles. Give us a breakdown of the interceptions and fumbles from this weekend's game.
Well, there were 3 interceptions in the game, and that's what I'm looking at. 2 by Jordan Thomas, 1 by Ahmad Thomas. Stephen Parker even had one as well, but that got taken back because of a holding penalty. Jordan's first interception was the easy one. It was thrown into double coverage, only the second interception on the year for the defense, but they weren't done. Ahmad Thomas got his first pick of the year off a tip pass. And then they still weren't done. Jordan Thomas with his second interception of the day. A pretty good day for the OU secondary. They won that battle against the West Virginia wide receivers for sure.
The Sooners really did a better job forcing and recovering fumbles this game. 2 critical recoveries led to 10 Sooner points that helped keep them in the lead and also sealed the win. In the third, Matt Diamond forced a fumble with the sack. The ball was recovered by DJ Ward, who brought it to West Virginia's 7-yard line. Sooners couldn't get the touchdown, but kicked a field goal, putting them up 10 on the Mountaineers. Then Striker sack and strip in the fourth, and it was Jordan Evans picking it up, returning it for an exciting 41-yard touchdown that sealed the win for the Sooners.
That's right.
All right, guys, well, there's so many to choose from, but who was your MVP from Saturday's game?
Well, on the offensive side of the ball, how can you not go with Baker Mayfield? The day where the run game wasn't really working for you, you had to rely on Baker Mayfield, and he showed us why he's back there because of his elusiveness and his big arm. 320 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, including that 71-yard touchdown to Deron Neal. When the run game just isn't working, you got to have a quarterback like Baker Mayfield back there who can make plays for you, and he did on Saturday.
He did. Well, I bet everyone might have a hard time guessing my defensive MVPs. Also, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week, linebacker Striker. Striker really dominated this game with 13 tackles, 2 sacks. He also extended his Sooners linebacker career high for sacks to 18. 3 of his tackles were for losses, and as I said earlier, he had 1 forced fumble that led to a touchdown. This is a Striker we're used to seeing, and I have a feeling he'll only go up from here, especially this weekend against Texas.
Texas. Put him down.
Horns down.
All right, guys. Well, today, Mason caught up with center Ty Darlington, and he talks about what this weekend's Texas rivalry means to him.
It's a game I've grown up dreaming of playing in. As a little kid, watched those OU Texas games with Sam Bradford, with Jason White, with all these Rocky Calmus, these guys that I idolized growing up. You get to step foot on that field and become a part of that tradition. It's incredible. I've gotten to do that a couple times already, and now I get to do it one more time. And that really gives you a sense of, I guess, urgency to prepare the right way, to practice the right way, to put us in the best chance to win, so that last one is one to be remembered.
It was tough to get the run going last week against West Virginia. Is that on you guys as offense, or was it something that West Virginia was doing?
Oh, no, it's definitely – they did exactly what we thought they were going to do. There was nothing they didn't do anything fancy at all. We got to do better up front of just moving people off the ball. It's not good enough just to get in the guy's way. We got to do a better job of just being physical and moving guys off the ball. And you can't play with 4 guys doing the job. All too often we got 4 guys doing a pretty good job and one guy coming off the block. It's a different guy every time. We just got to play with more consistency as a unit and improve with more consistency as a unit for us to do what we want to be able to do in the run game.
What are you looking forward to most about Saturday, your last one in Dallas in the Cotton Bowl?
Man, I mean, there's a lot of things to look forward to, as far as just coming out and having that split That the crimson and burnt orange fit right down the 50. Come running out into that just gives you chills every time. And hopefully being able to put that golden hat on at the end of it, spike the flag in the ground. I mean, those are things that as a senior you live for your turn. Going through the program, it's your turn to be the guy and to lead the team to victory in such a game like that. So that's what we'll be focusing on all week.
Thanks, Ty.
All right, again, 44-24 win for the Sooners. Give us a breakdown of what the Sooners did well on both sides of the ball.
Well, the offense showed big playability on Saturday, and it's what we expected to see from this offense all along. There's so many playmakers. The offense had drives, listen to this, 74 yards in 1 minute, 75 yards in 51 seconds, 95 yards in 45 seconds, 427 yards of total offense for the day, and the run game wasn't even close to as good as it can be. Samaje Perine had a tough day on the ground, but Joe Mixon had the biggest run of the day, a 35-yard touchdown that put the Sooners up 24-7. The offensive line is still making improvements, but with guys like Neela Kasatati and Ty Darlington to lead those young guys, I think they'll improve.
Exactly. Well, OU defense is back and better than ever. They really showed up against West Virginia. They had a total of 5 turnovers, which happens to be the most since we played in the Sugar Bowl against that one team, Alabama. We had 3 picks, 7 sacks, all things we needed to improve on and tighten up in the first 3 games. But I can't forget to mention penalties. They really hurt us at times, like when we intercepted a pass, but it was overturned because of a holding call. Overall, I'm really impressed by our defense, and I think we can only go up from here.
I think you're absolutely right. You know, it was a good weekend in Sooner sports all around. The soccer team went 2-0 last week. They beat ORU and Illinois State. Tuesday, Kaylee Dow and Lizzie Llewellyn scored 2 goals. Each scored 1 goal in the 2-1 victory against ORU. Then on Friday, it was Kaylee Dow again in the 63rd minute to get the Sooners the win against Illinois State 1-0. OU is now 8-4-1 on the season, currently sit 4th in the Big 12 standings, with West Virginia coming to town on Friday.
Well, volleyball had a great weekend, their first Big 12 win of the season.
That's right.
Baylor traveled up to Norman. Sooners came out on top with a 3-1 victory.
Right.
Baylor only won 1 set by a narrow margin of 25-23 in the 4th set. Baylor went up 12-10, but the Sooners used a 10-zip run to end the match at 25-18. Kayla Span had a great game with 8 kills and 1 error on 12 attempts. Also, she matched her career high with 9 blocks. Sooners have some traveling to do this week. They're heading down to Fort Worth to match up against TCU, and they're heading even farther south to go to Austin to beat up the Longhorns.
Beat up the Longhorns.
All right, guys, well, don't go anywhere because coming up next, we've got Face Off. Mason and Haley will debate their favorite sporting event coming up this month. We'll be back right after this. Later on, but first up, guys, the Sooners have claimed a spot in the top 10, but are still looking to move their way up. Which top 4 team is most likely to be replaced by the Sooners?
Michigan State does not look like a top 4 team right now. Their offense is not that great. They're only averaging 31 points per game against some lackluster competition. Their schedule isn't that great either. I mean, they played Oregon a couple weeks ago, but Oregon just got trounced by Utah a couple weeks ago, so that Oregon win isn't looking as good.
Well, OU will be taking Baylor's spot in the top 4. The Bears are not going to stay at number 3 for one main reason, and that is their defense. Yes, their offense is incredible, but they lack a good D-line, have some weak spots in their secondary, and have gotten a lot of penalties. Yeah. Baylor won't be able just to rely on their offense when they're playing teams like TCU, OSU, and obviously OU.
That's right.
All right, guys. Well, which October sports event are you looking forward to most?
This soccer game against West Virginia is very important. I mean, obviously the football games are probably the most important. After rattling off one-on-one, a 1-1 start, the Mountaineers have rattled off 10 straight wins and currently sit first in the Big 12 standings. OU is 4th, and a win could possibly move them all the way up to number 2. So OU has never won a Big 12 title in soccer, and it could be this year.
Well, on October 12th, volleyball will get their chance for revenge on Texas Tech.
That's right.
The ladies started their Big 12 play against Texas Tech, and it ended in a disappointing 3-2 loss. But there's about 5 matchups until they go back to play the Red Raiders, and I think that will seal their chance for a win.
Okay.
All right, guys, well, I've got an audience question, and this one comes from Bell. The Boz was honored between the first and second quarters of Saturday's game. He was on the 85 championship team.
Which linebacker core is better, the one we have now or the 1985 champion team?
I'm about to not make some friends with this. The 1985 linebackers were the best linebackers we've ever seen. Obviously, no disrespect to this year's crew, because I think this year's crew is one of the best in the nation. But you have guys like Dante Jones, Paul Miliazzo, and of course the Boss, Brian Bosworth. It's hard to pick against them. They had 262 tackles between them. 131 of those was by the Boss, by the way, and 6 sacks. That defense only allowed 8 points per game and less than 100 yards on the ground in an era where running the ball was more prominent than throwing.
Well, I'm picking our current linebacker core as the better group. They kind of are automatically better just because the type of offenses they have to go up against every week. Offenses these days, especially in the Big 12, are more high-powered and sophisticated than they were in '85. And I'm going to go ahead and start name dropping. We've got Eric Striker, Dominique Alexander, Devontae Bond, Jordan Evans, who are all incredible. And this past game alone had a combined total of 36 tackles. Way to go, Strike. Way to go, Strike.
All right, guys, it's now time to choose your face-off winner for the week. Hold up the head and cheer loud and proud for your winner. Was it Mason?
No, it wasn't. Wow.
No.
That was pretty quiet. Was it Haley?
Wow.
That one wasn't that close, Mason. I'm so sorry for your loss. Haley is our winner this week. Congratulations. Don't go anywhere, because coming up next, we're here with Eric Striker. We might even get him to give us a score prediction for this weekend's game. We'll be back right after this.
All right, guys, I'm here with Joe Lewis. He's a senior here at OU, and he looks like a Sooner man.
Yes, sir.
How long have you guys been out here?
We've been out here since 8:30 a.m., sir.
8:30 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
Were you out there in the tunnel holding the flags and
Yes,
stuff?
sir. I was holding the banner, helping them, whenever they jump up and hit it, that was me. I was holding the banner.
And how long have the Sooner men been a thing?
11 years. 11 years, yeah.
11 years. All right, I like your dress. Is that your natural hair color?
Yeah, let's get baked, Baker Mayfield.
Let's get baked, Baker Mayfield. I like it. You got the hats on behind him. Everybody's baking right there. He's got a bandana. Looks like a Boss bandana. All right, Joe Lewis, he's our fan of the game.
Yes, sir. Boomer Sooner.
Special thanks to our cornerstone television partners, Chesapeake Energy, Riverwind Resort, Anheuser-Busch, OU Outreach, OU Alumni Association, OU Medicine, and the OU President's Associates.
Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. Junior linebacker Jordan Evans has had an impressive season for the Sooners. He's also a legacy whose father was a standout on the Sooners defense. The Norman Knight sat down with Sooner Sports Pad Justin Strain and opened up about his journey and dreams for playing for OU.
This is my city. It's nice playing for my hometown, and it gives me a little pride to play for us.
Growing up in the same city is what makes it a hometown. Growing up in the same city and playing football for your high school and Division I college, well, that's what makes a hometown hero.
Jordan Evans, up down shooter. Jordan Evans shoots and scores. And it's picked up. Jordan Evans.
Jordan grew up playing football for Norman North High School, where he put up some impressive stats. During his junior and senior years combined, Jordan had 181 tackles, 11 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions, 4 kickoffs, and 2 punts returned for touchdowns. It's safe to say that Jordan Evans is an athlete, and on Friday nights, no quarterback wanted to throw his way. Unfortunately for Stephen Mudd, he had to be that QB.
It was JV, he was a sophomore and I was a junior, and I was supposed to read the outside linebacker, which was his position. If he were to drop back to the slant, I was supposed to hit the bubble. And if he was supposed to run up, I was supposed to hit the slant route. Well, he's backed off probably 7 yards, and he kind of takes a step towards the middle, towards the slant route, and so I turned and threw to the bubble real quick. And he stopped on a dime, changed direction like I've never seen before, and came flying in. And my receiver caught the ball, took 1 step, turned around, and Jordan lit him up and actually broke his collarbone. And so right then, I kind of cringed, turned to the coach, and ran over there and was like, "Coach, I made the right read." And our coach just looked at me and said, "I know, that kid's an athlete."
Growing up in Norman and going to Norman North, it seems like a pretty easy decision to go from this field to this one. But wait, not so fast. Just because he's a hometown hero doesn't mean he always cared to be.
I wanted to get out of Norman. I wanted to go venture off on my own. Biggest thing was just I want to be my own man. And, I want to get out of my house, get out of here and be my own man and do my own thing. But OU definitely overrated all of that, and I'm glad I came here.
So why was Jordan so eager to become his own man? Was he trying to run away from home, or was it even closer than that? Maybe it was blood.
Big part he played in was just being a supportive father, So when if I ever had questions when it came to my recruiting process, I definitely went and asked him. And then when I committed to OU, obviously I could tell he was happy because he played here, but he was just proud of me whether I went here or anywhere else. We still play on the same side of the ball, so we both have an knack for the ball, but off the field, I don't know. My dad's more serious. I'm definitely more of the goofy type, but I guess a lot of people say I resemble my father in a lot of things that I do, so I guess I am my father's son, right?
As his father's son, Evan's blood is truly as close to crimson as it can get. The son of a Sooner hasn't disappointed. Evans is following right in the footsteps of his 3-time Big 8 father. Jordan was named Academic All-Big 12 First Team in 2014 as an inside linebacker. He has started 17 out of the 25 games that he's played in, and through week 4 of his 3rd season, Evans has 137 tackles and led the team in solo tackles in the 14th season.
He's in the limelight now, and he's never too cool to say hey to me if I see him, and so he doesn't let the fame that his sport and his skills bring him to get in his head.
One of the things that I know growing up, hopefully I still held on to, that was always known as respect for young men.
Jordan Evans isn't only a hometown hero, he's a legacy. Passed down from his father Scott, Jordan hasn't missed a beat. And one thing is for sure, the Norman kid is an athlete. Oh, and if the NFL ever decides to get an Oklahoma team, don't be surprised if Jordan Evans makes that team his home. Justin Strain, Sooner Sports Pad.
Thanks, Justin. We'll be sure to look out for Jordan Evans in this weekend's Red River rivalry. But we've also got another football superstar in the house. Mason and Haley are joined with Eric Striker. Take it away, guys.
What a reception. What a reception. Look at that.
It's great having you here tonight.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I'm liking that people love me,
Yeah, we do.
I love y'all too. All right.
You're the Big 12 Player of the Week for the first time in your career. How's it feel?
Well, I just, go out with a mindset, each game to, do my job and try to be the best, for my team. And, when you prepare right, and you give it all you got, stuff like that happens. Not that I'm thinking about it. I'm just out there just trying to give my all and just play the game to the best of my ability.
Well, you obviously did have a great game against West Virginia. What was different for you this game?
Well, Big 12 play, and, here we go with, it was 9 straight, now we got 8 straight, and you kind of want to be, at your best. So you prepare, a little bit different, and I just, took a little bit better steps than I did in the first week.
Right.
All right, your final OU Texas game. What are you looking forward to most?
At the end of the day, I want to win. So like Ty said, that gold hat at the end, and then staking that flag in the middle of the field is what I'm looking forward to.
Well, speaking of, it's your 4th and final, as he said. What has been your favorite memory out of all your OU Texas matchups?
I guess, the McCoy hit. I'll probably be the one that, sit with me forever. And the funny thing about it is I didn't even know what I did until after. One of my teammates showed me on the bus. I didn't know I hit him like that.
Oh, my gosh.
Because I kind of hit him, and then I looked at the referee to see if I was going to get a flag, and I did. But I wasn't really worried about him, more so about, flag. But, I was pretty – when I saw it, I was like, wow, pretty good hit.
Pretty good.
All right, I got to ask you, your Bucks are 1-3 so far this season. They're allowing 30 points per game. They need some help on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing, watching them. And, I get a phone call from my dad and my uncle, like, you see this? Like, and it just, famous Jameis, he's doing the best he can, get it together. But,
right.
Gerald McCoy does need some help. On the back end could be a little better, and some of the ends could be better. So, hopefully we could get better as the season go on. Tough loss this week, but the Cowboys lost, so I'm always good with that.
No! Well, Ashley has your audience question. I cannot.
All right, so I got one more question for you. This one comes from Chandler Short.
What's your score prediction for this weekend's game against Texas?
Really, I've never been a psychic. I can't predict the future, but I can tell you that we're going to go out there and give our best and give our all. I don't know, but horns down, and we'll find out the score together. You'll be watching, right? At the same time. All
right, guys. Well, don't go anywhere because coming up next, we're playing dynamic duos. You won't want to miss this one right after this. from Eric Striker. He brought along his teammate and buddy, cornerback Zack Sanchez. We're going to ask these two a series of questions and see how well they really know each other. Are you ready? All right. If Eric didn't want to pursue a career in football, what would he most likely be? 1, a sports reporter. 2, a comedian. Or 3, a singer. Audience, what's your thoughts? We're seeing 3, singer. I guess you would know if he has a good singing voice or not, right? You got it? All right, we've got the answer. You know it?
I'm going to go with 2, a comedian.
He said
2, a comedian.
Comedian. Go. He got it.
Ah! All right. 1 for 1. Doing good. Okay. What does Eric sing in the shower? 1, Single Ladies. 2, Shake It Off. Or 3, Back to Back. You've got a very wide selection there. So we're seeing 3s, 1s, and 2s. You're all over the place. The audience is not helping you on this one. You got it?
Based on how much I know how big of a Jay-Z fan he is, I'm Single Ladies.
Hey, Single Ladies. Strike, let's see it. Hey, back to back. Oh, let you down. All right, what is Strike's spirit animal? Is it 1, a shark, 2, a tiger, 3, a lion, 4, a hawk, or 5, a bear? You got a lot of answers in this one. 5 questions. Okay, shark, tiger, lion, hawk, bear.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 2, tiger.
2, tiger. Striker, what's your answer? Tiger. All right, 2 out of 3. That was pretty good. Y'all know each other pretty well. Well, on behalf of the entire Sooner Sports Pad crew, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here next week.